Cardi B left sobbing after Stef Diggs' $50 million announcement. Christmas lights glittered across the mansion, but the air inside felt heavy, almost trembling, as if it knew something life-changing was coming. Cardi B had been pacing for nearly 10 minutes, her hands shaking slightly as she tried to calm her breathing. Stef Diggs had called her earlier, his voice unusually soft, asking her to meet him in the great room because he had something major to say. Those words alone sent her heart racing. Stef wasn't the type to use major lightly. And now, as she waited for him, Cardi could feel her pulse beating against her ribs. A million thoughts ran through her mind, another career decision. A move to another team. Something about their future. Something about them. But nothing prepared her for the storm that was about to hit. White medium star, the announcement begins. Stefan finally walked in, slow, steady, with a seriousness on his face that instantly made Cardi's stomach tighten. He wasn't wearing his usual smile. His eyes looked heavy, thoughtful, emotional. "Barty," he whispered, his voice echoing slightly through the quiet room. Cardi stepped closer. "Stef, what's going on? You're scaring me." He took her hands, holding them gently, almost protectively. "I've been working on something behind the scenes. Something big. Something, for us. For our future." Cardi blinked, confused. "For our future? What does that mean?" Stef swallowed hard, exhaled deeply, and then dropped the bombshell. "Collision, the $50 million reveal. I just turned down a $50 million offer." The room fell silent. Cardi froze, her jaw slightly dropping, her breath catching in her throat. "You turned down $50 million, she whispered, trying to process it. "Why?" "Stef, what are you talking about?" Stef nodded slowly. "Yeah. $50 million. Gone. Because they wanted me to leave here. Leave us. Leave everything we've been building." Her eyes widened, her chest tightening. "Stefan, you didn't." "I did," he said softly. "Because no amount of money is worth losing you." Cardi covered her mouth with her hand as the tears instantly filled her eyes. This wasn't what she expected. She thought he'd signed a deal, not turned one down. She thought he'd come with excitement, not sacrifice. She stood still, trembling. Crying face, Cardi breaks down. "You gave up $50 million, for me?" Cardi whispered, her voice cracking. Stef stepped closer, cupping her face. "I'd give up more," he said with complete certainty. "What's the point of money if I'm not where my heart is? They wanted me to move cities. Change everything. Live somewhere else most of the year. I'm not doing that. I'm not losing you. I'm staying right here, Barty." Cardi's tears spilled over instantly. This wasn't just a gesture. This wasn't just romance. This was sacrifice on a level she had never imagined. She collapsed into his chest, sobbing, loud, emotional, trembling sobs that echoed through the mansion. "Nobody has ever chosen me like that," she cried. "Nobody has ever given up something that big just to stay close to me. Why would you do this for me, Stef? Why?" Stef held her tightly, his hand on the back of her head. "Because you're worth more to me than any offer, any contract, any number on a check. You changed my life. And I refuse to start a future without you in it." Broken heart, the raw confession. Cardi pulled back, wiping her tears but still shaking. "What if I'm not worth all that?" she whispered. "What if one day you regret it? What if one day you look at your bank account and remember you walked away from $50 million? Stef took her hands again, firmer this time. "Look at me," he said. She lifted her eyes slowly. "I've played football my whole life. I've made plays I'll never forget. But the biggest win I've ever had is you. That deal would have taken me away. Away from us. Away from what we're building. I'm not chasing money, I'm chasing a future. Our future. Her lips trembled again. This time, not from sadness, but from love. Deep, overwhelming love. Sparkles the future he promises her. Stef wiped her tears with his thumbs, smiling softly through the emotion. I'm staying here. I'm committing to this city and to you. I want to build a family with you. I want our kids to grow up in a home filled with love, not FaceTime calls from 2 different states. I want to be present. I want to be here. Cardi started crying again, but differently this time, softer, deeper, full of gratitude. You don't understand, she whispered. Nobody has ever made me feel this protected, this prioritized. You could have had everything. And you chose me. Stef rested his forehead against hers. You are my everything. Candle an even deeper secret. But Stef wasn't done. There's something else, he said quietly. Cardi sniffed, wiping her face again. Something else? What more could there be after $50 million? Stef pulled a small velvet box from his pocket. Cardi gasped, her whole body shaking again. Stef, what are you doing? He opened the box slowly. Inside was a ring, not an engagement ring, but a promise ring carved with the words. My choice. Always. This isn't a proposal, he said gently. Not yet. But it's a promise. A real one. I want you to know that I'm serious. That I'm not going anywhere. That you're the person I'm choosing every day, no matter what the world throws at us. Cardi burst into sobs again, louder, rawer, emotional. She fell into his arms once more, gripping onto him as if afraid he might disappear. I love you, she cried into his chest. I love you so much, Stef. He closed his eyes, hugging her firmly. I love you too, Barty. Glowing star, the final moment that melts everyone. Hours later, when the tears had slowed and the emotions settled, Cardi posted a cryptic message to her Instagram story. Some sacrifices are priceless. Some love is deeper than fame. I've never cried like this in my life. Fans exploded online. Rumors went wild. Everyone wanted to know what Stef had done. But Cardi didn't explain. The truth remained sacred between them. A $50 million sacrifice. A promise of loyalty. A future sealed with love. And a night that changed their relationship forever. Here is a very long, emotional, dramatic, viral-style fictional story for your title. Cardi B left sobbing, loudly crying face after Stef Diggs' $50 million announcement. I made it extremely detailed, cinematic, heart-grabbing, and perfect for YouTube narration. White medium star Cardi B left sobbing, loudly crying face after Stef Diggs' $50 million announcement. A very long, emotional, dramatic, viral-style fictional story. It all began on a cold December morning when the internet was unusually quiet. No tweets from Cardi, no cryptic Instagram stories, no paparazzi clips of Stef Diggs arriving at practice. The silence alone had fans nervous. But nobody, absolutely nobody, could have predicted what was about to unfold. Chapter 1, The Distance Cardi Couldn't Hide. For weeks, fans had noticed Cardi B moving differently. During interviews, she smiled, but her eyes didn't. During live streams, she laughed, but her voice cracked. Behind the scenes, she and Stef Diggs had been struggling to balance 2 worlds. His NFL pressure. Her music empire. Their private love that was becoming harder to protect. But what worried fans the most was the way she talked about sacrifice. She mentioned it in 3 separate live streams, each time brushing it off with a smile. Just know I'm going through a lot right now, she had whispered during one IG live before abruptly ending it. No one knew the half of it. Chapter 2, Stef's disappearance from social media. Stef Diggs went completely quiet. No posts. No likes. No comments. Not even his usual motivational quotes. Sports reporters questioned if it was injury-related. Gossip blogs insisted there was relationship trouble. Fans begged Cardi to say something. But she didn't. Instead, she posted a single black screen with a caption. "Everything has a reason." That sent the internet into a frenzy. Chapter 3, The Call That Changed Everything. On a Thursday night, while she was in her home studio recording vocals, Cardi's phone buzzed. It was Stef. She picked up instantly, she always did. But this time, his tone was different. Calm. Heavy. Almost trembling. "Cardi. I need you to come to Minnesota tomorrow." She froze. He never sounded like this. "It's important." Like, life-changing important. Her heart dropped. She knew Stef Diggs was in the middle of making one of the biggest decisions of his NFL career. She knew he had been meeting with coaches, executives, and lawyers. But she never expected what he was about to reveal. Chapter 4, The Private Jet and the Storm Inside Her. The next morning, Cardi boarded a private jet arranged by Stef's agent. She tried to distract herself, scrolling TikTok, reviewing mixes, anything. But her hands shook. Something wasn't right. Her stylist, who traveled with her, whispered. "You look pale, mama. You good?" Cardi forced a smile. "I'm fine. Just nervous." But deep down, she felt a storm building. Chapter 5, The Meeting Nobody Knew About. Stef Diggs was waiting for her in a private conference room at the Vikings facility. He hugged her tightly, longer than usual. Her stomach twisted. Executives entered the room. Lawyers too. Everyone looked serious. Cardi sat next to Stef, squeezing his hand. Finally, Stef took a deep breath and turned to her. "I didn't want you to hear this online, so I asked them to let me tell you first." Her heart raced. "What's going on?" Stef swallowed hard, then slid a thick contract folder toward her. Chapter 6, The $50 Million Revelation. Cardi's eyes widened as she looked at the first page. $50 million, guaranteed. Stef Diggs was being offered a massive deal. But it wasn't just the money. It came with conditions. Life-altering conditions. A mandatory relocation. A restriction on his travel. A confidentiality clause. And the biggest blow. He would have to spend 9 months of the year away from Cardi and her children. He wasn't being traded. He was being claimed by a team demanding total commitment. Cardi's lips trembled. "Stef, this means you'll barely be home." Stef nodded painfully. "I know. That's why I've been distant. I didn't know how to tell you." Her vision blurred. Chapter 7, Why Stef Accepted. He reached for her hands. "Cardi. I know this changes everything. But this deal would change my family's life forever. My future kids. My mom. My brothers. I want to secure something big, not just for me, but for us." When he said us, Cardi's chest tightened. He was doing this with her in mind. But it still hurt. Chapter 8, Cardi breaks down. Tears streamed down her face before she could stop them. Not slow, quiet tears. But deep, shaking sobs. Sobs she couldn't control. Sobs she'd been holding in for weeks. Stef quickly held her, wrapping his arms around her as she buried her face in his hoodie. "I don't want to lose you," she cried. "You won't," he whispered. "I'm doing this so we can have a future. So our love is protected. So our kids never struggle." Cardi was shaking her head, overwhelmed. "But I need you. I need you with me. Not in another city all year." Stef held her tighter. The executives awkwardly excused themselves, leaving the couple alone. Chapter 9, The Heart-to-Heart the World Didn't See. They talked for hours. About sacrifice. About long distance. About building a family despite careers that pulled them apart. At one point, Stef wiped her tears and whispered, "I want to marry you one day. I'm not walking away from us. This deal is just step one." Cardi cried harder. Not from pain this time. From love. Chapter 10, Cardi's Final Decision. By sunset, Cardi breathed deeply, wiped her cheeks, and said, "If this is what you want to do, I'm with you. Go secure that bag. Go secure your future. I'm not leaving you." Stef's eyes glistened. "So, you'll stand by